Welcome everybody to the Six Banner Podcast. Week 2, Neill and I have a great show for you. We're going to be talking the trade deadline, what's to come, what's already came, and more. But first, as always,
the Six Banner Podcast with your hosts, PCV the Fourth and Neill Dunne.
Oh, sorry. My bad.
So I was grooving here too. I'm going to have to really change that, though. There's like 3 or 4 players that are gone already from there.
That's true. I forgot about that. I think my other intro for the Chicago Bulls Breeze also has like Kobe White in it, like the first player that pops up. Pat, you got a little work. But, yeah, man, it definitely been a busy trade deadline for the Chicago Bulls. And, you know, it's funny because, you know, everybody said that we weren't going to do shit. And now that we've done a bunch of things, it just totally sucks. So, yeah, go figure. You're damned if you do, damned if you don't with some of Bulls Nation. But we still love you. Just, you know, I got a little something for you guys later, though.
That sounds intriguing.
Yeah, maybe a little something for the Raging Bull segment. So,
yeah, I've got it lined up and ready to go. Don't worry.
Absolutely, man. I think, I mean, overall thoughts, though. I mean, you know, to start off the show, you know, I like what AK's done. I think that he's been very busy. I think he's gotten a lot of asset. I think he's gotten a lot back for not giving up much, or at least not giving up anything that anyone in Bulls Nation is going to miss outside of one player. I know that Kobe White obviously is going to leave a hole in the hearts for some. I was ready to be done. Definitely. I was ready to move on. But, you know, it is what it is. We can talk about whether or not, you know, we got back just return for him. I know Will White out there definitely didn't appreciate my opinion on that. But sorry, Will. Get off of social media, brother.
To be fair, I think Will has chimed in with ourselves in the past. He's also linked in with Troy, who we do Bulls Without Borders with, and Hayes, and he's kind of had a dig at anybody that has anything to say about his brother. And look, I appreciate the fact that he respects and minds and takes care of his brother and sticks up for his brother. I respect that, but at the same time, it's sports, buddy, and you know, you put yourself out there in the forum of sports, and you are opening yourself up to critique and criticism, especially if you're underperforming. And that's just the way it is.
Yeah, man. And I mean, Kobe is very, very well compensated, something I'm sure that Will has felt in his own life. And so, you know, I don't feel bad for the criticism. First of all, we've got a job to do, man. We've got a job to do. And nobody would want to watch us if we got up here and just said everything was sunshine and rainbows all the time, even when Kobe White has more turnovers than shots made. So, which unfortunately has been a bit of a theme.
Unfortunately,
recently. So, look, I don't mean
we
to
don't worry about that no more.
No, we do not. Charlotte, that's all you guys. You know, at least he's back with his hometown. Charlotte seems to be a team on the rise, and he gets to play with my personal favorite center in the league, Ryan Kalkbrenner. And right. I say that in jest after last week. But, you know, I think that hopefully Kobe's best is yet to come. I don't wish ill will on him. I appreciate everything that he did for the Bulls, but it was time to move on for sure.
100%. Like, you know, we've all been very much behind Kobe over the years and love what he brought to the game for the Chicago Bulls, and you know, been huge supporters of him. But at the same time, you can support somebody and still see their faults too, right? And look, the decision was made to move on for him. Personally, I felt like it was time. I know you did too. So we've moved on from Kobe. Now that he has gone, I do feel a little bit sad that he's gone. But you know, I've got my Kobe White jersey to remember him by, and I'll always thank him for what he did for the Bulls. But The only thing I'm worried about for Kobe, and I will be watching him as he goes on playing for the Charlotte Hornets for a little while at least, is he's back in the position again where he's playing with a ball dominant point guard in LaMelo Ball.
Yeah.
So has he not kind of jumped out of the frying pan and landed himself slap bang into the fire? He's still got the same problem that he had in Chicago.
I don't even know if he's starting there. The Charlotte fans that were in my comments were saying that he's the sixth man. And I was like, oh, that's interesting because he was definitely an entrenched starter with the Bulls.
Oh, shit, face of the franchise.
Yeah, so good luck with. I mean, look, if they're winning, then maybe he won't mind so much, and they are winning lately. But we'll see what happens. I'll be curious to see if he accepts that role with grace and how that works moving forward. And because they've got a half a season with him before they've got to decide whether or not they're going to pony up that $30 million plus annual value that he was rumored to be demanding. So. Maybe not demanding, right? Like I say demanding, but I mean that's what his price tag is supposed to be. So,
right, exactly. That's the rumor that's out there anyway. But I don't know how they'll be able to justify giving him that kind of money if he's only a sixth man.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I mean, I'm not exactly like a wizard on the way that the Charlotte Hornets have their roster laid out. I know that they've got LaMelo Ball there. I know that they have. Brandon Miller there. I don't know. I agree that I think his best role for them probably would be six man, probably coming off the bench. Maybe not even six man. Like he should probably be not on the court when LaMelo Ball isn't. But we'll see what happens. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see how that fit works out. But at least he'll be back home to see, if nothing else, he's with his family and friends.
That's exactly it, and that was the thing that I was happy about for him is the fact that he's gone back to North Carolina and he is back home, forever a Tar Heel, and I'm happy for him in that respect. And the other thing I'm happy for him is anytime we played in Charlotte, he always played well. He always played well in his hometown. So, hopefully that is the way that it transpires as he moves on as an actual player for the franchise.
For sure. And I mean, yeah, Tar Heel, nobody's perfect, Kobe, but
hey, Michael Jordan was a Tar Heel. Hey, relax.
That's true. But I guess lately I'm more of a Duke Blue Devil guy because I've got an eye on you, John Shire.
Yes, well, rumor has it he may have an eye on the Chicago Bulls too, but we will see.
I'm personally all for it. Apparently, Patrick Beverley, his nickname for him was White Michael Jordan. Don't understand why completely. I know that he's a Chicagoland area native. I'm always a fan of that. And so if Patrick Beverley signs off on you and is calling you White Mike, then I feel like that's a pretty good I don't know what the word is escaping me, but a pretty good recommendation. That's not the word, but you know what I mean. It's an endorsement. Yeah. It's an endorsement.
That's the word.
There we go. Yes.
I wouldn't take much of what Patrick Beverley says of any kind as an endorsement, to be honest with you. That dude talks a lot of shit.
He does. But yeah, I mean, he's like what? I think it was 102-21 or something like that as the Duke head coach. I think he's young. For anyone who doesn't know, there's a report that if the Bulls were to move on from Billy Donovan, and in my opinion, it'll be a promotion. If they move on from Billy D, it'll be because he's decided to go up to the front office and do the Brad Stevens thing where he just leaves the bench, goes to the front office, and disappears from the public eye.
Right.
And so if the Bulls were to move on from Billy, then they have an eye on John Shire, the Duke Blue Devils head coach. He's extremely young. He's got a great record. He doesn't have any, championships under his belt, but winning March Madness is a pain. That's extremely difficult. A 64-team tournament. I mean, he's only been Duke head coach, I think, for a few years. So the resume so far speaks for itself, and I like his youth. And
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's a forward thinking choice. It's not a retreat. I'm not a big fan of just like rolling the dice again on another failed NBA coach. You know, just not my thing. So I don't know how you feel about it, Neil.
Yeah. See, I'll be honest, I don't know enough about him. I did see the report, I did see the rumor, but it looks like AK's MO is young, right? He's gone for youth. So why not do that at that level as well? Why not do it at a coaching point as well? I'm bringing somebody in from the college game that's doing exceptionally well. It could work. It could help connect with the young guys too.
For sure, without a doubt. So, without further ado, Neil, do you want to launch into our segments for today's show?
Absolutely. And let's start with this.
Feeling horny.
All right, and last week I took the lead on our feeling horny segment so this week, Neil, what's got you feeling horny, my man?
What's got me feeling horny is that AK, our notorious leader, has finally woken from his slumber and has been doing some shit during this trade window. He got active, 3 days ago, and he hasn't stopped. Now, whether you like or don't like some of the moves that he's made is irrelevant. We've been calling out for this guy to actually do something during a trade window and a trade deadline for years, and normally he does nothing. And now he has practically overturned the entire roster to some degree. And the last time he did that was in his second year with the Chicago Bulls when he completely overhauled the roster, and we went straight to the top of the table. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen now. What I am saying is that he's certainly decided enough's enough. Let's do something. We've shown patience like he asked for, and he said something was going to come. Well, he's doing shit. This is it. He's doing some stuff. And it's going to be interesting to see how this works out. I mean, if you asked me to sit down and name the Chicago Bulls roster off the top of my head right now, I'd have to seriously think about it. I wouldn't be able just to rattle it off like I normally would, because it's the landscape has changed. And I love that there's change, because what we had wasn't working enough. It was enough to keep us plateauing year after year after year. Little tweaks, little changes weren't enough. Now we've got another overhaul. Let's see where this takes us. What do you think about the moves he's been making?
I think you hit the nail on the head, man. I think we can't ask for AK to make moves and then just throw our arms up when he does. I mean, whether or not whether these moves work out or not, I've seen what the attitude from a lot of people is like, well, he should have done this before. Okay, well, he's doing it now, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what to say to that. Like, yeah, sure. Like, it's true that he has a habit of waiting too long to trade guys, that he misses out on their maximum value, but at least he's moving them. Like, we could have easily gone past his trade deadline, not done a damn thing, and then all these players, like, they were talking about Nikola Vucevic walking. They were talking about, or if we weren't going to re-sign Kobe White, we could have easily kept him for our good old play-in run that everybody likes to make fun of, and then let him walk. We could have let Kevin Huerter walk. We're not letting any of these guys walk. We got value for them. I mean, if nothing else for Kobe, whether you feel some type of way about the return that he received or not, it's really about the 3 second-round picks. We got Collin, Sexton. The other player is escaping me in that deal. And then we got 3 second-round picks.
Ousmane Dieng.
That's right. Ousmane Dieng or whatever the hell. I can't say. I'm not sure if I'm saying his name correctly.
I hear anybody knows how to say his name.
I hear he's a decent prospect. He hasn't translated to the core yet. His averages are very low. Whether or not he's a piece of our future, we flip him. They're both expiring contracts. It's more about the second-round picks, right? The 3 second-round picks. And
man, we have been building those.
We've got 10 of them, I believe.
Right. Yeah.
10 second-round picks. So, I know both of us think that this is building to something bigger. He hasn't.
Yeah, I don't think
he's
it's done yet.
No, I think he's been building a lot of capital, and right now we've got a lot of guards. I mean, just like
Yes.
off the top of our head, man, like Josh Giddey, Io Dosunmu, Yuki Kawamura, Trey Jones, Anfernee Simons, Jaden Ivey, Collin Sexton. I might have gotten them all.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, sometimes IO plays as a guard as well, but that's
Yeah,
not
like
really, he's more of a small wing.
yeah. I mean, we've been really kind of playing him at the 3. Although I think lately, I think he's been starting at the 2. I
Yep.
could be
And a
wrong.
Koro and a Koro at the 3, I think.
Yeah. So I mean, however
But
you feel about any of that, well, go ahead.
no. I was just going to say, just for anybody that doesn't know or isn't up to speed with exactly what's been going on over the last few days, I have the complete timeline here. I can read through so that we can go through the trades as they happen in order, and at least then everybody will kind of know who's come in, who's been flipped, who's still here, all that sort of thing. What do you reckon?
Yeah, go for it, dude.
Okay, so we had an initiator trade, was a three team trade. Cavs sent DeAndre Hunter to the Kings. Kings sent Dennis Schroeder and Keon Ellis to the Cavs. And the Bulls absorbed Dario Saric as a salary dump for the Kings. And in return for doing so, they received 2 second-round picks, which was the Cavs 2027 pick and the Kings 2029 pick. The Bulls then had to waive Javon Carter, thank you, goodbye, thanks for your service, to create roster space for Saric. So that was the first one. So the Bulls basically got Dario Saric and 2 second-round picks for sweet FA. Absolutely nothing, really. And all they had to do was get rid of someone they wanted rid of anyway, in Javon Carter.
Big facts.
So that was the first move. Then the secondary trade then was also a 3-team trade, where the Bulls sent Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric, who they just acquired, to the Detroit Pistons, plus a future first-round pick swap, which was via Minnesota. As a result of this, Detroit sent Jaden Ivey, he's former number 5 pick from 2022, he's a guard, and Mike Conley Jr., who was on an expiring contract via Minnesota, to Chicago. Then, and this is the one that got people skipping and dancing around the place, the Bulls traded Nikola Vucevic. They sent Vuce and a future second-round pick to Boston, and the Celtics returned Anfernee Simons, who was the 24th pick in 2018. He's currently the 3rd highest bench scorer in the NBA, I believe. I checked that last night. And 2021 Slam Dunk champion for his Kiss the Rim, plus a second-round pick for the future to Chicago. And we seem to have a bit of a trend of loving Slam Dunk champions, don't we? I mean, we've had a few. We were trying to go through them earlier on. We got Michael Jordan, obviously.
Yes.
Zach LaVine, Derek Jones Jr., Mac McClung, and now we have Anfernee Simons as well. Did he kiss the rim? I don't think he did, but anyway, that's by the by. So that was the Vuce trade. Vuce, who we were told we would have to let walk at the end of the season because we just could not get a trade for him because there was no trade value out there for him, and we managed to, or AK managed to find value in a Vuce trade. I thought this was brilliant, personally. Then this was the one that hurt. This is the one that's caused a lot of an issue. They did a Kobe trade, another 3-team trade. The Bulls sent Kobe White and Mike Conley Jr., who they'd acquired, to the Hornets. Hornets then sent Collin Sexton and 2 future round picks to the Bulls. And OKC sent forward Ousmane Dieng, I probably butchered his name, and 1 future second round pick to the Bulls. And the Hornets sent Mason Plumlee to OKC. So the Bulls came away with more second round picks, 3 more in total, plus Collin Sexton and Ousmane Dieng. And then the last trade that came through last night was another one that people are very happy about. Personally, it hurt my heart a little bit. I've always had a soft spot for DT. But the Bulls traded Dalen Terry, another player who we were told had no value around the league. And they sent Dalen Terry to New York, and the Knicks sent power forward / small center Guerschon Yabusele to Chicago, who has a player option, I believe. It's a player option, not a team option, I think, for next year, worth around 5.7 million. He's a 6'8", 260-pound tank. So we'll see how he works out. I'd say he's definitely the one that's least likely to get flipped in any way. I'd say he will remain with the Bulls.
Yeah, what I've seen that they're going to keep him. I was going to say, I've seen online that they're going to keep him, that they're going to let him see how he plays with the guards that we have on our team. So, I mean, when he got time with Philadelphia last year in 27 minutes per game, he averaged 11 points per game. I think it was like 5.5 rebounds. I think like 2 assists, and I think he shot 50% from the field. I think 38% from three. Okay. I'll take that. I'll take that
too. And what volume do you know?
What's that?
Do you know what the volume of 3-point shots were?
I don't actually. That's
fine.
It's a good. I'm curious though. Let's see if I.
Okay. You look that up, and I'll talk about where that leaves us now. Basically, okay, we let out a couple of expiring deals, but we've also taken on some expiring deals as well. So we still have 4 expiring deals on the books at the minute. And Collin Sexton with an expiring contract of 18.9 million. Anfernee Simons is an expiring contract of 27.6 million. Zach Collins is expiring at 18.1 million. And Ayo Dosunmu is expiring at 7.5 million, which gives us 72.1 million in expiring money off the books at the end of this season, obviously pending re-signing. So if we were to just let all of those walk, we would have 72.1 million in expired money on the books that we can spend. However, obviously they're not going to let everybody walk, so they'll have to try and function some sort of a deal with these players going forward. And they've got 3 months to see what they want to do with the likes of Sexton and Simons. Jaden Ivey is also a restricted free agent at the end of this season, so they will have the option to sign him and match any offer as well at the end of the season. So he's kind of like an expiring too, but I presume that they either flip him as part of a deal or they re-sign him. I think they get bird rights to re-sign him, something like 13 million or something, I think it is. So the books are incredibly healthy as a result of these moves. The Bulls probably have the biggest purse and the most flexibility in the NBA right now going into next season.
Yeah, I mean, there's not a team that I'd be surprised to hear of another team that has as much flexibility as we do. It remains to be seen whether, what we do with that flexibility, but just having it is important. It leaves us open for a bevy of different options that we can go, a lot of different ways we can go. Even if we decide to spend it now, like in a move, if we flip some of these expiring deals for, a guy like, a lot of people seem to think that we might be going big fish hunting, that we might be throwing our name in the hat for one of these bigger star players. And, we are equipped to do so now. To go back to what we were talking earlier, when he shot 38% from 3 last season for the Sixers, he was shooting 4 3-pointers a game and making 1.5. So, yeah, I mean, moderate. Right. I mean, he was shooting them. So,
yeah.
So, I like where the Bulls are at a lot, man. I like where the Bulls are at big time. I think that we're in a prime position. I feel like AK has done a pretty damn good job with the assets that he had. Again, getting pieces or getting capital back for players that were said to not have any value, like Nikola Vucevic or Dalen Terry, and lo and behold, we're getting some value back.
Right.
I know a lot of people had a problem with the Kobe White compensation. I think that his regression this season really hurt his trade value. It was a pretty jarring difference in his play last season to this season. And, at the end of the day, I think that affected it. His one thing he's supposed to do is score, and that he took a dive in that regard. So,
Right.
not to mention, I mean, it's not like he didn't have a green light. A lot of these games he's been playing, we haven't been at full health. So I don't know what's been going on with him, but I wish him nothing but the best again.
100%. Very, very same. So moving on then, onto our next segment, and I believe the floor is yours for our
Raging Bulls.
Yes. So, what I'm raging about this week, Neil, is about people that want that the constant negativity in Bulls Nation, man. So, I've posted a few things on X in regards to what's been going on with the Bulls. And I will say that, like, there's a lot more likes on what I post than all the negative comments. It's just that likes are silent and the negative comments are not, right?
right.
And, there's a lot of people on there that have said that all kinds of different things. That I'm stupid or dumb or I don't know. I'm an idiot. I don't know. There's just a lot of stuff, and I'm pretty good at ignoring all of that most of the time. Yesterday was just a little bit abnormally a lot more of that than normal, and I just don't understand. Like, what are we supposed to do as Bulls fans? Are we supposed to just be miserable all the time? It seems like there's people out there that just because Jerry Reinsdorf is our owner and just because AK is in charge of the front office, that we should just walk around miserable and nothing is good. Everything sucks. We have no direction. People keep saying that too, no direction. Okay, I don't understand. The youth movement is the direction. Like, I don't understand how that's no direction. We have completely pivoted from having an old, decrepit-ass team to being one of the youngest teams. If we might be the youngest team in the NBA. I'm not sure if that still fits given all the trades. But I know that prior, like, if you took Vucevic off the team, we were the youngest team in the NBA. I don't understand how that's not.
We did take Vucevic off the team.
We did. I just don't know if the players we got back would still qualify us for that or not. But I just don't understand what are we supposed to do as Bulls fans? Like, I'm not going to be negative for the sake of negativity. I'm not going to look at everything like it sucks automatically because AK did it. So because AK did it, it must suck ass. Like that, it's such an awful way to fan, and I don't understand. And I guess I'm raging against awful negative fans. Dude, the sun rises once in a while. Cheer the fuck up. Holy man. And that's what I have to say. Like, just have a little bit of positivity. Just try to have a little bit of hope. It's not going to kill you. I promise.
Yeah. And can I just add to that as well, right? That people need to broaden their mind a little, right? Because when you see what's going on right now, you can see the bigger picture stuff. You can see that the Bulls more than likely are not finished trading. They have they don't have a healthy center on the roster. They have to go out and get a center. So they have to be still ready to do more moves. Okay. So instead of analyzing and criticizing each little move as it happens, as if, is that it? Is that it? Well, it's not it. There's more coming, and you just have to have a little bit of patience, and you have to have enough scope to be able to look at the bigger picture and go, okay, he's doing something. The Bulls are doing something. Maybe they're not finished doing something. Wait till 8 p.m. tonight, Irish time, which is 2 p.m. Chicago time, and see what is the situation and what is the landscape at that point. Then criticize and critique what AK and the Bulls have done. But trying to kind of say, like you coin your phrase from Chicken Little, the sky is falling. The sky is not falling right now. At the moment, it's just raining, okay? And let it rain, right? Let it rain a little. And once the rain has gone away, then we'll see if we got sunshine and rainbows or if we still got more dark clouds, right? But we'll worry about that when we get there. Right now, stop jumping on everything and wait and see where we go. Because right now we are heading in a direction. We just don't quite know what direction that is entirely yet. There's only one person who truly knows that, and maybe two, and that's AK and possibly Mark Eversley. Wait and see where they take us, and then have your say.
Man, well said. Well said, Neil. I mean, I just there's no pleasing some of these fans. Like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. But yeah, I think everything you said is spot on. Just have an open mind. Now, yeah, if we go past the trade deadline without making any more moves, and I've said this, like if we don't make any more moves, like yes, I'll have a problem with the way that we ended here, because if we don't make another move, it would seem like this is a straight tank attempt, right? Mm-hmm. Because we don't even have a center on the roster. Really, Zach Collins would be our only real center on the roster, and he's hurt. So,
what height's Lockie?
He's like 6'10". I mean, he's a
legit center.
Yeah,
but he's a two-way. He's not an actual. Yeah.
Right, and yeah.
So we've got 1.5 centers.
Yeah, you don't. Ideally, like I like his potential, but ideally, we don't want to be giving Lockie 25 minutes a night right now. But I guess if that's the way the Bulls decide to go, then that's the way they decide to go. That'll be a straight tank attempt, in my opinion. But
yeah, I agree.
I'm hoping.
And I think it's too late for a tank.
Me too. If you were going to do that, you should have did it at the beginning of the season. And even then, I don't support tanking. It's not something that I personally believe in. I think it's for losers. No. And then when I say that, they're like, "Oh, well, what have we been so far?" Okay, we can't win. Then we're trying not to be losers. That's the point.
Yeah.
But that I digress. If we're not at the top of the conference, if we're not championship favorites, a lot of people are going to have nothing but negative things to say, and that's just the way it is, I suppose. Right. But you don't have to spread your negativity to other people. Keep it inside. No. Be miserable by yourself.
Absolutely. Please. Right. And to add to what you said there about tanking is for losers, what I think, or my take on that would be that if you are actively tanking, you're promoting a losing culture within the team. And especially when you're such a young, impressionable team as we have at the moment, if you start to let a losing culture get ingrained into those players' minds and psyches at this stage of their career, that'll be very hard to shake off as they progress through their careers in the NBA. Whether they're Bulls or whether they're playing for another team is irrelevant. What you're doing is you're promoting a very bad mindset in those players, and I'm not for that at all. Not for that at all.
Ask Zach LaVine how that is.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's hard not to feel like that happens.
Just not that guy.
Yeah. I mean, that too. Like he's not a max player, right? But but also, I feel like he early on, none of the teams that he was with were interested in winning. Even the Bulls when he first got here, you can make that argument with like Jim Boylan and the shit that we make him, that we had him put up with there. By the time we got around to winning a little bit with him, I just don't think that I think that he was okay, or at least losing was pretty normalized for him. And, as long as he got out there and got his, 25 per game or whatever, everything else was all good. Like, no, man. Like, I'm not okay with losing. I want these guys to be pissed off when they lose. So
facts.
That's the way I feel about it. But that is my Raging Bulls for the for the week.
And I think it's a valid one too.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Fuck negativity. Well said.
Yeah, fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Right. So let's move on then, and we will talk about, this is going to be one of our regular segments, of course, and it's a tough one this week to talk about because everything's getting lost in the weeds of all these trades, but we have been playing some basketball this week too, if you can call it that. So let's have a look at our Bull of the Week. So I'll take this one first, and
Okay.
I'm going for a back-to-back winner. I'm going to go with Jalen Smith because that dude has been balling, but not only has he been balling, he's stepped up into a starting role at the moment until we get people back in a semi-permanent basis, and he has carried himself so well. He has been hustling. He's been shooting well from deep. And we just seem to look better when he's on the floor. I just have to say he's moving, which is something the Bulls sometimes tend not to do, is they get a bit stagnant. But he's looking for his spots. He's looking for cuts. He's curling back out for the three. I've just been super impressed with Jalen Smith for the second week in a row. So I'm going to give him my Bull of the Week.
I love it, man. I want to keep Sticks. I'm glad that he's still here. I hope we don't trade him, to be honest with you. But my Bull of the Week this week is Ayo Dosunmu, the Chicago kid. I think that he's been balling out, man. He's been really playing well for the Chicago Bulls. He's been, unstoppable on drives. Like, when it feels like whenever he decides he's going to get to the rack, he always gets there and he always gets a shot up. You have to play great defense on that man in order to block his shot or to stop him from getting to the rim. It's amazing to see how much he progresses. I feel like he's kept progressing little by little all throughout his career. And now it's not a big deal that he scores 20 points in a game, but when we first drafted him, like, I don't think anyone had him pegged as a guy that can go out and give you 20 most nights. Yeah. And so for him to be where he's at now, I was team trade Kobe, re-sign Ayo. I'm like that more than ever. Obviously, we've traded Kobe, so one half of that prophecy has come to life. Now, re-sign Ayo, aka do the right thing, give that man his money, and I hope that he's a Chicago Bull for a long time moving forward. But Ayo, you are my week 2 Bull of the week.
Excellent choice. And Ayo, at the start of the season, I think you and I maybe even discussed this on a pod that we did previously together before we became a thing together. And that is that my untouchables were Manas Buzelis, Josh Giddey, and Ayo Dosunmu. And that was at the start of the season. And he has put down one hell of a career season so far. He's a two-way player, much more so than Kobe ever was. And I would really, really like to see the Bulls retain Ayo. I think he deserves it. I think he's absolutely beloved in Chicago, being a hometown boy. I know he's a secret fan, well, not that secret, fan favorite of one of our good friends in Tim Sinclair. And for that and many reasons, I would certainly like to see Ayo Dosunmu stay with the Chicago Bulls past this deadline.
100%. Yeah, he's got to be a big. Yeah, he loves Ayo. Tim does. He's been with Ayo. Was he calling his games at Illinois too? Was he the PA guy back then? Holy shit, man! He's been with Ayo the whole way.
Still does call for the Fire, I think, for the fighting line.
Yeah, I just didn't know if he was with them all the way back then.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was.
Damn, man, that's awesome. So yeah, we got to keep Ayo if for no other reason than we got to keep the Ayo Tim Sinclair duo together.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
We can't let them break up.
That's it. So there we go. There are 2 Bulls of the Week, Ayo and Sticks. So we're going to get a little bit fun now. We promised it on the last episode that we were going to have a bit more of a departure away from the serious stuff and start to do some fun segments. So I'm going to hit you with the first one this week that we'll introduce. Now, we're going to have a variety of different things that we do. And like I said, I think last week, we'll dip and pick different ones each week. That won't always be the same format each week. But this week, we're going to go with, for the first time,
One and Done.
I love that picture of you, by the way.
Do you know what that was from, right?
No.
In my fantasy league, right, I actually won we did a women's one last year and I won the women's one. So I went through and I did a number of different, and I went through, you were in that as well, weren't you?
Pretty sure you beat me in the championship.
That's
or you beat
right.
me in the semifinals. One of those two.
I definitely. Well, I took you out along the way anyway.
Yeah.
So I won the WNBA one, and so as a result of that, I took several pictures, like 4 or 5 different pictures from famous Chicago Bulls and WNBA celebrations, with myself replacing the player that was in the center of the pictures. So that was the one of Michael Jordan standing on the table where he has the hand up.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So that was from that. So I just stole it from that. But my favorite one, I think, which I don't know how suitable it is for this pod, but it's our pod, so we can do what we want, right? But at the time, there was a bit of a thing going on in women's basketball of green dildos being thrown onto the court. So I don't have it here, but I'll put it out for one of the future episodes. But I photoshopped one of myself on the court, kind of looking over my shoulder with a green dildo flying into the basketball ring, which was a good bit of fun.
You didn't have to Photoshop, Neil. Come on, just be honest.
Yeah. Okay.
But
anyway, I'll pull that picture out for a future episode, and I'll show you. It's a bit of fun, bit of crack. So anyway,
sure. We'll do a segment like just flying dildos or something.
There you go. Inappropriate photos. There we go.
I love it. But all right, so one and done. Neil, break it down for us. What are we doing?
Okay, so basically what we're going to do with this segment is we're going to give each other options, so 3 or 4 different choices, and you have to pick which is your one and done. So basically you have to select one out of the 3 or 4 options that are there and give your reasoning behind why you would pick that one over the others. One and done.
Perfect. All right, so what is the first thing that we're going to answer here?
The first one I'm going to give you is I'm going to name the 4 players that we have currently still got on our books that we've acquired over the last few days, and I want you to pick out which is your favorite, so which is your one and done. So the first one is Jaden Ivey. The second one is Collin Sexton, Anfernee Simons, and Guerschon Yabusele.
This is probably not fair for me, but it's Jaden Ivey by a mile, man. He's a Boilermaker. I'm a Boilermaker. I'm so excited that we have Jaden Ivey on this basketball team. The fact that we got him for Kevin Huerter and Dario Saric, to me, I feel like we robbed the Pistons. I don't know.
Yeah.
Like I would have assumed that Ivey's value was much higher than that. So I am extremely excited to use the number 5 overall pick. He's averaged as much as 18 or 19 points in a game so far in his career, and he's only 24 years old. The best is yet to come with him. He just hasn't been able to – he never really fit alongside whatever, what the final product that the Pistons put out there with Cade and Duren. For whatever reason, it just didn't mesh well. And I'm excited to see him alongside Josh Giddey because I think that's a much different type of point guard than Cade Cunningham is. And I think that you can get the most out of Ivy with a guy like Giddey next to him who's going to be setting him up and really looking to feed him the ball. So it's Jaden Ivey in a landslide for me. I'm going to bounce that one back at you, Neil, though. I know that for the other categories, we have different options for each other. But, when it comes to the players that we're keeping on tabs, like there's only really those guys. So I would like to know which one of those 4 players is your favorite.
Yeah, I'm actually going to go with the same as you, Jaden Ivey, for slightly different reasons. I think initially, we got him for a steal for one reason. I think that we got him for a steal, and that is because he's off the back of that broken leg, and he hasn't quite come back the same as he was. But I don't think that's necessarily because of the leg so much as it is because of, as you mentioned, the fit. Cade Cunningham is a score-first point guard, and that is not what we have in Chicago. We have a pass-first point guard in Chicago, and I think that is going to suit Jaden Ivey's game so much more than what he was getting from Cade Cunningham. Now, the reason why I have got a bit of a soft spot for Jaden Ivey is when the Chicago Bulls and the Detroit Pistons played in France, and I went over with my old podcast partner, Matt, to see the game in Paris. That was my first time kind of really seeing Jaden Ivey to any level, really. And I met a family while I was waiting for my bags to come off the aircraft, and I got chatting to them, and there was a couple of the kids that were in the family, they were teenagers, and they kind of said to me like, "Oh, we've only come over here just to see Jaden Ivey play." They were big Jaden Ivey fans, so that kind of put it in my mind. Oh, keep an eye out for this kid, and I really liked what I saw. I mean, he didn't set the world alight, but a lot of what he was doing and everything I've watched him do since, I'm like, I really do see something in Jaden Ivey. So I'm really excited to see that and how that works for the Chicago Bulls. I really hope he won't be used to flip and move on somewhere else. Look, if it gets us a superstar, I'll let almost anybody go. But I'm hoping to see Jaden Ivey batter up against other teams alongside what we have here in Chicago.
Hell yeah. I think that he's a lot of fun. He fits the timeline too. You know, he's even younger
He does
than
very
Kobe.
much.
He's even younger than Kobe. And honestly, I feel like he's Kobe White, but with more potential. I know that Kobe's averaged more points in a game than him to this point in his career, but I feel like Jaden, the best is yet to come. I don't think we've seen even close to what he's capable of doing. He's a more dynamic player than Kobe is. So I'm really excited to see what he's got. I think that, and also, I mean, hopefully for him, I'm not sure where his hometown is, but being that he went to Purdue, I would hazard a guess that his hometown is somewhere in the Indiana, Illinois, Ohio, somewhere in the Midwest. I would say that's probably pretty likely. If not, then I excuse this statement, but he's going to be closer to home. And so I know he'll at least be closer to his alma mater. And so I hope that he blossoms here in Chicago, because that would be fantastic, man. I think out of all the players that we got back so far, I think he's probably the most likely to stick around. So
cool. Yeah, sounds good.
But all right, what's the next category here, Neil?
Okay, so we will go with the finishing segment for this week, which is our
Courtside Countdown.
Yes, so courtside countdown then. We'll do this one as a standard on all of our episodes. This is basically a look ahead of the games that we've got coming up over the course of the next 6 to 7 days before we record again.
Yes, and I can take it away from there, Neil. All right, so we are at the Raptors tonight at 6:30. No idea if those if there's going to be any more. Sorry, if they're who's going to play for the Bulls. I have no idea.
No clue.
They're
Yuki at the 5.
Yeah, Yuki is playing center for the Bulls tonight. Breaking news. You heard it right here first on the Six Banner podcast. But, yeah, we got the Raptors tonight in Toronto, so we'll see what happens with that. Then Saturday we play the Denver Nuggets. We host them at the United Center at 7 o'clock Central. Then on Monday we've got the Nets at Brooklyn at 6:30 p.m. And then we travel to Boston next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. to play the Celtics. So definitely got our hands full over the next week. I mean, that's 3 playoff teams at the very least, and then the Nets. That was kind of mean to the Nets, but yeah, I mean, it's just the truth.
Yeah, the Nets have beaten us.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we just went 1-1 against them, so they're definitely not someone to just shoo away. And then especially, being if the Bulls make a move, if we go and get another guy like we think that they're going to do, then we'll be more formidable. But if we don't, then every game for the rest of the season is going to be a challenge. I would say we're the underdog in pretty much all of them, because we don't have, there's going to be a pretty clear disadvantage in the rebounding department, and it's going to be tough in that regard, because we've seen what happens when other teams can just offensive rebound all day and night against us. So
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Last week I put my foot right in my mouth and said we could go undefeated. I'm not going to do that anymore. So I'm going to say the Bulls are probably going to go 1-3 over the next 4 games. Because even if they do get another guy, they're going to have to acclimate together. They're going to have to learn how to play together. So it's probably going to be a rough stretch here. But, better days are ahead. But, yeah, it's probably going to be a rough stretch over the next week, if I had to guess.
Yeah, I'd say you're not wrong. Can I just ask you, who's the one against?
I got to pick Brooklyn, right?
Right. Okay.
It's got to be Brooklyn. I'm not calling the Celtics, Nuggets, or Raptors. The Raptors tonight are probably going to curb stomp the shit out of us. We're not going to have any backup. They're probably going to have to call up the G League team, man. Hey, boys.
Hey.
I don't know.
I say we play all our 2-ways tonight.
Yeah, probably. And I don't know what the rules are on that. If they're on the Windy City Bulls, if there was a dire situation, I wonder if there's any rules about you being able to call up any of those guys. If you didn't have enough players to suit up for your team, because we've turned over a lot of players.
Don't you have to forfeit the game in that if you can't suit up enough players?
Do you?
I
That's
think
crazy.
So.
I don't think I've ever seen that happen. So
no, I don't think I have either. But I think I've heard that somewhere before, that you have to actually forfeit the game.
That'd be some shit. That would be if we had to do that. Wouldn't you? That would be. People would take that and have a field day with it. They would be dancing on the Bulls forever. Not only the NBA world, but Chicago Bulls podcasters and analysts would be. They'll never let us live that down. Oh, AK is the reason the Bulls had to forfeit a game.
I don't think that happens, though, because, is there any limit on how many Exhibit 10s you can sign? They could probably work their magic somehow, pull somebody off the street, sign Benny for an Exhibit 10 and get him to play. Fuck's sake, you can do it.
Yeah,
do something.
Just have him shoot backwards half-court shots.
Exactly.
It's all good.
Stacey King. Get Stacey King back up on the floor. I'm sure they can figure something out.
Yeah, so sign Adam Amin for a day, dude. I want to see Adam
Yeah, why
Amin
not?
hoop. Yeah.
Hey, didn't Adam Amin play in one of the celebrity games? Or am I going crazy?
I missed it if he did. I would love to see him hoop. I've seen him
I think
DJ.
so. Have you?
Well, at least online. Yeah, I've listened to some of his mixes. I got kind of I don't want to say I got obsessed, but when he messaged me before, breaking news for anyone who didn't know this, Adam Amin slid in my DMs one time, and he was like, "Hey, dude, really like your tweets. Just want to let you know that." And then he's seen my. That was when I was writing for Bear Goggles On. He's like, I've seen.
I was thinking that was Bears, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and he was like that. I've seen that website pop up in my Google whatever at times. Keep up the good work, and I was like, holy shit, man! I thought for sure it was a fan account or something. I was like, no way, Adam Amin actually just messaged me. I clicked on the profile, and all those followers. I'm like, holy shit! So after that point, I'm like, Adam Amin's the coolest guy. I just kind of fell in the rabbit hole of looking at his timeline, and then that's when I found out that he's a DJ, and he
there you go.
He does mixes. I listened to a couple of them, and they're actually pretty fun. I dig it. I'm gonna pay him to DJ for the Six Banner Podcast Chicago Bulls championship watch party that we're gonna throw in a few years when Matas Buzelis leads us to the finals.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I in regards to what I think with Courtside Countdown, I just think that we are in such a state of flux that any game could go any direction, to be perfectly honest with you. But I think that we're going to be terrible for the next few games. We could even be really bad all the way up to the All-Star break. But look, it's going to be interesting playing the Celtics because obviously that's Vooch's return. Well, our first game against Vooch. But it's in Boston, so there won't be any video for him or anything. But
if we have Simons too, so that'll give Simons an opportunity to be like, "Hey, you bastards, this is for trading."
Yeah, revenge game.
Yeah,
revenge game.
I love a good revenge game.
But I hate being negative, but this isn't negative. This is just being pragmatic, and I think that the Bulls are going to go 0-4.
It's probably the most likely scenario.
And it could be ugly to watch too.
Yeah, but hey, I'm Look, we're here for it. We are fans of what the Bulls are doing so far, and I know that we've got to wrap up here. We're nearing our time limit, but before we before we go, I did want to ask one last question, Neil. Um, Before the deadline is over, do you think that how many more deals do you think they're going to make?
Um, I think there. I think there could be one more big trade that's going to involve at least 3 teams, and
Okay.
I I think it's going to be the big swing, the big one.
It'd be really interesting if, like, what if they got Zion? I want the Bulls to get Zion. That's what I want, right? Give me
I know.
Zion. But um, what if he ended up being a part of like the Giannis trade? Like, what if all of that ended up being like one big clusterfuck of stardom? Like,
It could happen.
I don't know, like, because that would be a way to get everybody more picks too. Um, it could be a three or four team trade. It'd be really interesting if if that got mixed into the trade with Cat or with Ja. I'm almost positive Ja Morant's going to get traded. They traded Jaren Jackson Jr.
Yeah.
to the Utah Jazz, which honestly the Utah Jazz are a very, very interesting team next year. They're going to be scary good.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
They're gonna come out of nowhere, like, because they've been dog water. I think they're going to be actually pretty damn good. So I think that overall, I agree with you, Neil. I think there's gonna be one more big trade, but we'll see what happens. I think it's really exciting, but I say the future is bright, Bulls fans. And I know people like,
It is.
what do you mean the future's bright? I get it, okay, but I think me and Neil are here to tell you that there are bright days ahead. Matas Buzelis is still here, dude. He's still gonna be a stud. Josh Giddey is still a 20-point triple double killer. We're gonna be just fine, Bulls fans. We're making moves. AK is awake. It's like the beginning of the Power Rangers episode when back in the day, the original Power Rangers, when Rita comes out of the ground, she's like, "After 1,000 years, I'm free." That's AK. So I know I could see your face like, where the hell is he going with this one, dude?
Yeah, I was like, huh? Okay, no, I got it.
But
It's like that meme with the guy poking with the stick, going, "Do something." Well,
Yeah.
somebody finally got him in the eye because he finally fucking woke up.
yeah, he's cooking, if you ask me. So if
Yeah,
he
he is.
finishes off by getting a superstar, getting a big fish, so to speak, or at least a quality big man, I'll give this whole shebang an A+. Honestly, I think that he has to get that guy. If he gets that guy, I'll stamp it with the Philly A+, baby. But that'll do it for this episode of the Sixth Banner Podcast. I'm PCV the fourth, and with me is Neill Dunne. It's been a pleasure as always. We have more segments to introduce to you next week, so please do keep tuning back in. But until then, take it easy, my friends. See red, and let's kick some. Neil,
Raise the banner.
raise the banner, baby.